Necesitas un lápiz, un cuaderno y el papel. You will need a pencil, an exercise book, and paper. Hola clase 5. Firstly, wow, your paragraphs that you up-leveled last week were absolutely fantastic. The quality of them, the adjectives that you included in the right places, the grammar, the accuracy of your sentences were absolutely brilliant. You should be incredibly proud. I know that I certainly was when I saw your work on Seesaw. This week we're going to start to look, and it's very much a recap from your learning in Year 4, about family, or in Spanish, en español, la familia. Now, obviously, as I said, this is a recap of what you've done in Year 4. It's very much going to be looking at building upon that. So now we've got the knowledge and we'll recap that knowledge. How can we build upon it to be able to I guess, write paragraphs, to be able to speak fluently about La Familia as well. Now, there's a couple of phrases that you may or may not remember from Year 4 that you'll need in the next few slides. And it's SDS, this is, SDS, SDS, and estates, estates. Both of them mean this is, and I'll speak to you in a few slides' time about the reason why there's two phrases that mean the same thing. You might already know from what we've learned about before. Bueno, okay, so here is the vocabulary, obviously, that you'll need to know for the lesson today. We're going to do a little bit of my turn, your turn. So firstly, este es mi padre. Este es mi padre. And in English, what do you think it might mean? Muy bien. This is my father. Este es mi padre. Esta es mi madre. Esta es mi madre. In English? In English? This is my mother. Este es mi abuelo. Este es mi abuelo. In English? This is my grandfather. Esta es mi abuela. Esta es mi abuela. In English? Muy bien. This is my grandmother. Este es mi hermano. Este es mi hermano. In English? Muy bien. This is my brother. Y finalmente, and finally, esta es mi hermana. Esta es mi hermana. In English? See, this is my sister. Muy bien. Now have a think about estes and estas. Pause the video now if you want to have a little bit of thinking time about it, and I'll explain it on the next few slides. Okay, I did say to look at the differences between the words for this is, and we had estes and estates, which means the same thing. Can anyone guess why that might be? Fantastico if you mentioned about the fact that words need to agree in Spanish. And in Spanish we have, as you will know, masculine and feminine words. So if you look at the first instance where it's this is my brother, este es mi hermano, you'll notice that the E and the O are circled, and that's because they are both masculine. Este es mi hermano, this is my brother, it's a masculine word. Hermano, brother, is a boy. It differs slightly for when it's a feminine word. So, for example, esta es mi hermana is a feminine word. Both of them end in a. So therefore, it means the same thing, but it needs to agree. It needs to be a masculine or a feminine word. Muy bien. Bueno, okay, so now that we've recapped on that vocabulary, what I'm going to ask you to do now is look at a text which is obviously shown on the screen. In a moment, I'm going to disappear and I'm going to give you quite a bit of time to read the text. What I would like you to do, and again, you can pause the video, you can make notes on it, is try and translate as much of it as possible. And really, it's put together lots of learning that you will have done over the past few years in Spanish. Things to think about is that obviously you might not necessarily know every single word or every single sentence, but pick out some of the vocabulary that you do know. Some of the clues will be in there, for example, capital letters for names that you might not necessarily recognise. Obviously, remembering things like the adjectives being before the noun as well. So have a read through it. Think really carefully about what it means, and then I'm going to play an extract of somebody reading it out to you, which again may well give you some more knowledge of that.
Hola, me llamo Pablo y vivo con mi padre, mi madre y mis dos hermanas. Tenemos dos gatos que se llaman Coco y Tata. Mi madre tiene 42 años y mi padre tiene 43 años. Mi madre se llama Teresa y es muy divertida. Mi padre se llama Juan. Es simpático y deportivo. A mí me gusta jugar al tenis y nadar. El viernes por la tarde practico judo con un amigo. El sábado por la tarde veo la televisión. Mis abuelos viven en Barcelona. Escríbeme pronto, Pablo.
Okay, I hope that you managed to translate as much of that as possible. I'm going to go through a translation now so that you can obviously check to see how similar it was with your own. So, hello, my name is Pablo, and I live with my father, my mother, and my two sisters. We have two cats, and they are called Coco and Tata. My mother is 42 years old, and my father is 43 years old. My mum is called Teresa, and she is very funny. My dad is called Juan, and he's sympathetic, so he's kind, and he's also sporty. Me, I like playing tennis, and I like swimming. On Friday in the afternoon, I practice judo with a friend. On Saturday in the afternoon, I watch the television. My grandparents live in Barcelona. Write back to me quickly, Pablo. Bueno, okay, so task for today is a true or false activity, and it's based on the paragraph that we've just been looking at, that we've just translated together. The paragraph I've uploaded onto the virtual school, so just where the link is for our Spanish lesson, you should be able to access that. And also the true and false statements are also on there too. It's up to you whether you want to print them off or whether you want to write out the statements or literally just list the numbers and write true or false or verdad or falso in Spanish next to them. What you've obviously got to do is read through each of the sentences, look back at the text a little bit like a comprehension activity, and try to find the answer, whether it's true or false. Next week we're going to continue our recap on family. Obviously we'll be looking more so at speaking, more so at looking at reading in Spanish as well. So I look forward to that then. I hope that you've enjoyed today. Adios.